Author's point of view. The car rolled smoothly, tires screeching, before halting across Rhythm and Soul Dance Academy. The door opened and Vine stepped out. Leaning against the car, she crossed her arms and waited patiently, gaze fixed on the entrance. Bye-bye Teacher Park. Giggles echoed across the street as the kids scurried out of the studio like a flock of birds. Some walked away in groups, some with their parents. Their excited ramblings and smiles displayed that they enjoyed their class. Jimin, go home safe, kids. See you on Thursday, he yelled, smiling widely, waving at the kids standing at the entrance. Unaware of the pair of eyes adoring him from a distance, walking back inside, he switched off the lights and came out with his bag. Locking the studio, he walked toward the sidewalk and raked his gaze around. His breath came out in small puffs. The crisp winter air turned his cheeks red. When his eyes landed on his wife, his lips broke out into a big grin, turning his eyes into crescents. With a happy giggle, he crossed the road and stood in front of her. She smiled at him, standing straight, and took his bag from him. Ryan, how was your day? Jimin, it just got better, seeing you. He embraced her, sending a flutter to her stomach. Married for almost 8 months, and she still can't get used to his affection. He never shied away from showing it. She got flustered easily, but she wasn't complaining. When he pulled back, there was his smile, which she adored, which was only for her. An angel, which was sent by heaven for her. That's what she thought every time he smiled. The warmth in his eyes did nothing to ease her thudding heart. Jimin's lips quirked up, enjoying the red tint on his wife's cheeks. He loved and lived to tease her. Opening the passenger door, he got inside while she rounded the car, getting in the driver's seat after she regained her senses. Jimin, let's go, wifey. I'm famished, he muttered, patting his growling stomach, making Ryan chuckle. She ignited the engine, the car rolling out on the street with practiced ease. Picking him up from work has become a part of her day, which she has come to love. Jimin, did you finish the art piece today? He asked, gentle curiosity in his eyes. She glanced at him once before focusing back on the road. Ryan, not yet. I can't seem to be satisfied with a particular part. The shade isn't just right, even after countless tries, she answered, her brows creased into a frown. He didn't like it one bit. He hated seeing her stressed. She changed the gear, spinning the steering wheel with a single hand and made a smooth turn. Heart fluttering, with worry laced on his features, he took her free hand into his and intertwined their fingers. His voice was filled with understanding when he spoke, the gentle tone he always used when talking to her. Jimin, it's okay. Don't be harsh on yourself. You will figure it out. Sometimes we are chasing perfection without meaning to, and that's what hinders creativity. Jimin, being an artist is not easy. It happens to me too. While dancing, sometimes I try to perfect the steps too much, and it only wastes my time. Jimin, so don't overthink. Let it be messy. Let it be imperfect. It will be purely a result of your imagination, and that's what will make it real. She glanced at him, and his easy smile lifted the weight pressing on her. Her shoulders relaxed, and she nodded with a smile, feeling much lighter. Ryan, thank you. You just know to say the right thing. The perk of having a choreographer as a husband. You understand my art better than anyone else. She teased and he laughed, her heart soaring, hearing the squeaky giggles which she loved. Jimin, that's what I am here for. Kim, now Park Mayan, was a 28-year-old renowned artist. Park Jimin, a 30-year-old talented dancer and a choreographer. After working with top idol groups for a couple of years, he started his own dance academy for children ages 7 to 19. Well, Vayan recently had won different awards and was gaining the recognition she deserved. They had met at an art gallery, on a blind date their mothers had set up. Jimin was amazed by Vayan's artwork, which was exhibited there, and when he talked with her, he was even more mesmerized. They talked, spent the day together, instantly clicking. No second thoughts when they confided in their parents with a yes. They didn't rush. A few more dates, a few more months together. They took their time in understanding each other. And soon the wedding was fixed when they were sure. Their parents had been delighted, and here they are, happily married for 8 months. Vayan, Jimin, you are free on Sunday, right? She asked, making the man in front of her pause and glance up at her. He nodded, his mouth full of food. Jimin, it's my day off. His words, muffled, mispronounced, only made her laugh. He raised his eyebrows, doe eyes widening. Wine, swallow the food first, silly. You have got it all over your mouth. She leaned forward, chuckling, and wiped the sauce on the corner of his lips with her thumb. Sitting back on her chair, she licked it from her thumb. The action caused the butterflies to flutter their wings in Jimin's stomach. Heck, there was a whole zoo swarming in his stomach. The tip of his ears turned red as he looked down at his plate, muttering under his breath. Jimin, she gets shy when I just flirt with her and then goes around doing such things. This is so unfair. Wine, what? Did you say something? She asked, hearing a low whine from him. He shook his head and gulped down a glass of water. Clearing his throat, he spoke. Jimin, nothing. What were you saying? What about Sunday? Wine, ah, right. Remember the art exhibition I told you about? I got more details today. Wine, there is going to be a New Year's party afterwards, so we might have to stay back a little late. She explained, finishing the remaining food on her plate. He nodded, wiping his mouth as he was done with the food already. Jimin, okay, sure. Let those be. I'll do it. Go and rest. I'll join you for bed in some time. He gently took the dishes from her hands. Before she could protest otherwise, he just gave her one stern look and she sighed in defeat. With a small smile, she tiptoed and pecked his cheek. Wine, thank you. You're the best, she muttered and ran away with a giggle. He stood frozen for a second and let out a disbelieving laugh. He was sure she was red-faced by now and hence ran away, hesitant, shy, and sweet. That's how his wife was. Jimin, silly woman. He shook his head, but the smile on his lips stayed intact. The spot on his cheek felt warm, where her lips had lingered for a fleeting second. Jimin, I'm so tired, he muttered, face planting himself on the bed. He tossed around a bit and let out a sigh of ecstasy when he found a comfortable position. Jimin, are you done yet, wifey? Wine looked up in the mirror upon hearing his sleepy voice. Rubbing the cream on her cheeks, she smiled at the sight of him trying his best to stay awake, waiting for her. His eyelids grew heavy, shutting close now and then as he yawned. Done with her night routine, Vian got up and walked toward the bed. Switching off the lamp, she got under the covers. Vian, now I'm done. Let's sleep. Jimin looked at her and wasted no time in shifting closer. Throwing his limbs around her, he rested his head on her chest, nuzzling his face against the soft material of her sweatshirt. He let out a sigh as wine glided her fingers through his hair. A smile graced his lips as he felt her heart thudding fast against his cheek. Wine felt scorching heat on her cheeks, but the smile on her lips gave her away. An unconscious action a few months ago has now become a daily habit. Her husband was a big bundle of affection and a cuddle bug. Not that she was complaining. She pressed a light kiss on his hair and hugged him close. Wyan, good night, Jimin. Jimin, night, Wyan. Jimin, very good, Nari. Keep going. 5, 6, 7, 8. He clapped his hands, praising the 17-year-old who grinned widely while moving her body like a pro. Her peers cheered for her while Jimin bobbed his head with a smile, hands on his hips as his sharp eyes scanned her moves. He taught teens on Wednesday and Saturday, tweens on Tuesday and Friday, and kids on Monday and Thursday. Their lessons were already done for today, so the 15 to 19-year-olds were enjoying some freestyle. Jimin was their greatest cheerleader. Everyone clapped as the song came to an end. Giving Jimin a high five, Nari sat down panting, the adrenaline still coursing through her. Before Jimin could speak, one of the boys yelled happily, Hyun, Mrs. Park is here. Jimin turned around to see his wife walking inside the studio, her hands full and a warm smile on her face. As always, his students didn't waste time in swarming around her, rambling excitedly. They loved her more than him. Wyan, I brought everyone's favorite cupcakes. Have a seat, everybody. And within minutes, everyone was seated as Wyan distributed the sweet treat. Jimin stood at the side, arms crossed, eyes sparkling as he adored his wife with the biggest grin on his face. Teacher Park, you'll dig holes in Mrs. Park if you stare so much. A teasing voice snapped him back to reality and he darted a mock glare at her. Wyan's cheeks turned crimson as she removed his lunchbox, arranging it so he could eat. Jimin, aren't you too young to be speaking like this, little lady? He scolded Nari playfully and all the kids booed at him. Wyan laughed, seeing their interaction. The playfulness, teasings, cheers, and support wasn't a surprise to her. Her husband was the sweetest living thing in the world and a great teacher. Of course, his students loved him. Era. She's 17, Teacher Park. None of us is too young here not to understand the hard eyes you make while looking at your wife. She giggled, displaying her chocolate-stained teeth. The rest of them laughed along with her. Jimin. You brats, aren't you a little too comfortable with us, huh? He glared at them, but his students just shamelessly laughed at him. Deep down, he was grateful that his students spoke their minds around him. They saw him as someone they could share their problems and confide in instead of just as a teacher. Hyun, Mrs. Park, we have a challenge for you. Will you please do it? The 16-year-old brunette-haired asked, darting puppy eyes at Wyan. She smiled, raising her eyebrows in question. Wyan, what is it, Hyun? Sua, can you dance with Mr. Park? Pretty please? We have never seen you to dance. Another voice interrupted and Wyan laughed in disbelief. Wyan, but I don't really know how to dance, kids. I can't. Her reply elicited disappointed rumbles and groans. Darting their puppy eyes and the most pleading expression at her, they tried to persuade her. Jimin, hey kids, don't force her. Some other time maybe, okay? He gently interrupted, deflating their little smiles. Wyan's heart ached and she shook her head. It's not like she hasn't danced before, but there is a difference in dancing alone and dancing in front of everyone. Walking closer to Jimin, she held his hand, making him glance at her. Wyan, let's do it. Choose an easy song. Don't worry about me. She assured him before he could protest, and he nodded. Taking off her coat and sweater, she set them aside. Just in socks, she stood beside Jimin, now clad in her t-shirt and sweatpants. Nari got up, moving toward the speaker and played a song for them. The familiar beats filled the room as Jimin and Vian stood side by side. Vian, sheep of you? Good choice, Nari. She gave a thumbs up to Nari, who winked in return. It took a second, but the muscle memory kicked in and she started moving. The closed bedroom door dance sessions when being stressed did pay off. She has danced to this song many times. Her feet moved effortlessly and Jimin followed. He was shocked for a moment but recovered quickly. He never knew his wife could dance like this. Woohoo! You go, Mrs. Park. Loud cheers filled the studio as Wine twirled Jimin's hand on her waist. The adrenaline kicked in, warming her up, and any hesitation that she had was long forgotten. Running her fingers on his chest, she wrapped her arms around his shoulders as they moved to the chorus. Her expression came naturally, like the song, teasing, slightly seductive as she gazed up at him through her lashes. His breath hitched, pulse racing. Pulling her closer, he twirled her again. His feet moved smoothly, steps syncing along with hers, like they have been doing this for years. He was a dancer, she was an artist, a true one who loved more than one form of art. At one particular step, she slightly wrapped her arms around his waist before pulling back, only to pull him by his collar. Their faces were an inch away, and she winked at him with a teasing grin. Where did my shy wife go? Jimin pondered, with the red tip of his ears as he continued to move with her. The beats grew faster, so did their steps, before the song came to an end. Vine collided against Jimin, her arms wrapping around his neck as they panted. His arms wrapped around her waist, hearts beating fast in sync, flutters in their stomach. This was one experience they won't forget. Whistles from the boys and squeals from the girls brought them back to reality as they pulled apart. Vine scrambled away to get her sweater and Jimin scratched his head. Nari, liar, you danced so well, Mrs. Park. That was swoon worthy, she teased, crossing her arms playfully. The rest of them nodded, applauding for the couple. Jimin, all right. Enough fun for today, guys. It's late. Your parents must be worried. Get moving before it starts snowing. His response drew out grumbles, but obeying, they all started packing up to leave. One by one, all of them left, bidding goodbyes to them. Shutting the door behind him, Jimin walked toward Wyan, who was setting the lunch. Jimin, I didn't know you could dance like that, wifey. He whispered against her ear, drawing out a low gasp from her. His hot breath fanned her jaw, making her clench her fists. Turning her swiftly, he wrapped his arms around her waist, chuckling as he saw her flushed cheeks. Jimin, and there is my shy wife whom I know and love. She slapped his chest, groaning. She was well aware he lived and loved to tease her. When she danced, she didn't know what got into her. Dancing had always given her confidence, but she always danced alone in her room. She was herself surprised. She got so flirty with him. Jimin, what happened now? You weren't so shy while yanking me close. Didn't know you could move like that. He pulled her close, eliminating the space between them. She glared at him, which only made him grin wider. Oh, how she wanted to wipe that smug smile of his. Kiss it off. Even better. Vian, the lunch is cold already. Eat up. I can hear your stomach growling. And as if on cue, his stomach made a sound. Freeing herself from his arms, she dragged him to sit down and handed him the tiffin. Now that I know you can dance so well, you don't have any excuse to deny if I ask to dance with you any time. Oh, this is delicious. He teased and then groaned in delight, tasting the food. She chuckled, watching him munch happily. Wine, I wouldn't have denied anyway, silly. Her statement fluttered his heart. It was simple. a matter of fact, but it made his stomach do somersaults. The late afternoon was spent with laughter, a little flirting here and there. Soon, Ryan had to head back home. Jimin, Ryan, wifey, my lady, where are you? His excited voice echoed through the whole apartment. Walking inside the bedroom, he saw his wife moving toward him with a smile. Ryan, I'm here, husband. What's gotten you so excited? She laughed when he made her sit on the bed excitedly. He kept his bag on the bed and got down on one knee. Her heart skipped a beat. Jimin, I saw something today and it reminded me of you, so I have got you a present. He smiled and her heart fluttered. Today she couldn't go to pick him up as she was busy preparing for tomorrow's exhibition and he took the chance to wander around. Ryan, you're spoiling me. Just 2 days ago you got me a bouquet of roses. She shook her head and he pressed his finger on her lips to stop her from speaking more. Jimin, shh. If not you, then who am I going to spoil? Now sit quietly like a good girl. Her cheeks warmed and he smiled. Taking her left leg, he placed it on his knee, making her gasp and hold his shoulder on instinct. He shushed her when she opened her mouth to protest. Taking out a small black box from his pocket, he opened it. He lifted his hand to show her the shiny silver anklet. A moon and butterfly charm was attached to it. The tiny, intricate design shone under the moonlight coming from the window. She gasped, her heart fluttering. Ryan, Jimin, where did you get this? It's so beautiful. He smiled and lowered it to wrap around her ankle. Being an artist, his wife had a very different view of seeing things. She loved to try different kinds of jewelry. Jimin, I've seen for the past few days you have been talking about this. Anklets had caught your eye. I saw one today and bought it for you. He spoke with a smile, fastening it around her ankle. The delicate chain felt cold and tingly on her foot. When he was done, he pressed a soft kiss on her foot, making her gasp. He looked up at her and she swore she could feel her heart threatening to come out of her ribcage any moment. The warmth in his eyes was all too familiar to her, but today she saw something different, something more profound, intense. It unraveled her in a way she couldn't decipher. After a few beats of silence, he cleared his throat and looked away. His heart was going into frenzy under her gaze. So warm, so delicate, yet so powerful over him. He stood up, making her stand up with him. Jimin, it looks pretty on you. Did you like it? He smiled and she couldn't hold back anymore. Throwing her arms around him, she hugged him tightly. His arms wrapped around her on instinct. She only mentioned the anklet twice, he remembered. Like every other little thing he pays attention to. Pulling back from the hug, she squeezed his cheek. He laughed, holding her wrist. Ryan, why are you so sweet, huh? Stop making me fall for you more. She whined and he cradled her in his arms. Jimin, because my wife is so sweet. I know, I'm charming. Sorry, can't help it, my lady. She laughed at his smugness. He joined. Her heart fluttered like always, hearing his squeaky laughter, and he felt full seeing her happy. Ryan, this dress is annoying me now, she muttered under her breath, arms falling at her sides. Her shoulders were aching from the countless attempts of trying to move the stuck zipper. She was wearing an off-shoulder olive dress, which complemented her figure well. The silk fabric was soft against her skin, reaching till her ankles. Her earrings, the anklet gifted by her husband, which made her heart flutter every time she heard it jingle, and a matching purse were her only accessories. For the past 10 minutes, she has been trying to get the stuck zipper moving. Pressing her aching shoulder, she tried again when the door opened. Jimin, Wifey, are you sorry? She gasped at the sound of his voice, turning around only to find his back facing her. Her hand instinctively moved to her chest, holding her dress against it tightly. Her face flushed, pulse raced, heart throbbing so loud she could hear it ringing in her ears. How much did he see? Jimin, I'm sorry. The door was unlocked, so I thought you were done. I'll leave, he muttered, scrambling away instantly. Before he could walk out, her voice stopped him, soft, hesitant. Wine. Wait, Jimin. Yeah, do you need something? He asked without turning around, and Wine relaxed a little. Wine. Yes, could you help me with the zip? She muttered, taking a deep breath and turned around. Jimin. Sure. His breath hitched as he turned around. Her back was bare. His pulse raced as he took in her vulnerable, trusting form. Shaking his head, he walked closer to her and stood right behind her. The heat radiating off him against her back made her pulse throb harder. Jimin, what flower is this? Her back arched unconsciously as his fingers traced the tattoo along her spine. Willing herself not to stutter, she answered him. Wine. It's a daffodil, he hummed. The design made it a little difficult to decipher. A daffodil with little butterflies around it. He held the zip, moving it a little and started pushing it up slowly. His fingers barely grazed her skin, but she felt as if her skin was on fire. Jimin, it's beautiful. Does it have any specific meaning? He asked, curiosity and admiration laced in his tone. Wine, it's my birth flower. It means you are the only one. A small smile graced her lips. His breath hitched because of the way she said it. The implied meaning behind her words left a swarm of butterflies in his stomach. He closed the zip and took a step ahead until his chest was brushing against her back. Jimin, done. You look gorgeous, my lady, he whispered, his nose grazing her jaw. He held her shoulder, his gaze made her cheeks flush, and the warm breath against her cheek made it harder for her to stay sane. Bending his head, he brushed his lips on her clavicle, and her whole body shuddered. Her chest heaved as she exhaled shakily. It was too much, his scent all over her, his warmth against her. Jimin, come soon. I'm waiting outside. He smiled, pressing one last kiss on the side of her head. She caught the smug smile of his in the mirror. He walked away, leaving her breathless behind. He knows exactly what to do to make her lose her mind. Host. Now I would like to call up our special guest on the stage, the artist whose art has stood out the most tonight. Please welcome none other than Mrs. Park Wyan. The audience applauded, but the loudest cheers came from Jimin, who looked at his wife with pride shining in his eyes. He helped her walk to the stage. The host smiled at her, and Wine greeted everyone with a bow. Host, Mrs. Park, the guests, the audience, me included, loved your art very much. You have always stood out in your art style. Would you please share a few words about it? The host handed her the mic. She took it, her hands shaking a little with nervousness. She wasn't a fan of being the center of attention. Her cheeks flushed as she raked her gaze through the crowd. When her eyes met Jimin's, she instantly relaxed. His soft smile and warm gaze gave her the confidence she needed. She took a deep breath and smiled at the audience. She started speaking, and gratitude dripped from her tone. Wine. First of all, I would like to thank you all and the people who enjoy my art. I'm really grateful for all the love I have received over the years. There are times when I just don't feel right to paint anything. The audience was silent, intrigued to hear more as they listened with interest. Wine paused, reminiscing about the hard times she faced in her career, her smile somber. When her eyes locked with Jimin's in the crowd, her expression changed. His warm, worried gaze grounded her. Why? The messy, imperfect art would be the result of your pure imagination, and that's what will make it real. I never knew I needed to hear this until it was said. The audience smiled, applauding lightly, and she chuckled. She could feel her cheeks hurting from smiling so widely. Jimin's heart fluttered, pride shining in his eyes as he stared at his wife. She was shining on the stage, and he was so happy. He smiled widely as her gaze locked with his, and he could see pride in her eyes. Wine, my husband, barked Jimin, the sweetest person I know, encouraged me on my low days. Many people love my art, but no one understands it better than him. I would like to say something to him. Anticipated, the audience held their breath, but no one was more shocked than Jimin. He felt an unexplainable warmth when she mentioned him. He was so grateful, so happy. Wine, Jimin, I love you so much. You complete me, angel. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year. Keep thriving. Her voice shook, eyes glistening as she confessed in front of so many people. Jimin was sure there was no other man luckier on this planet than him. The room erupted into loud cheers and Wine bowed, handing back the mic to the host. She scurried off the stage toward Jimin, who had the biggest smile on his face. Reaching him, she wasted no time in throwing herself into his arms. Jimin, I'm so proud of you, my lady. He whispered near her hair and she pulled back with a smile. He pressed his lips on her forehead, making her sigh in ecstasy. His heart was thudding. All of this felt so surreal to him. Tonight was going to be the most memorable night of his life.